Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So welcome to my channel. We're going to take a look at your love reading for the week. See the energy, what you're up against, how to deal with it. Of course, I always look at that, their feelings, and any intentions towards you. I have feminine energy showing up and knowing your worth, right? Already to start right out the gate. So let's see where this is headed. I see fun, support, friends, friend energy, Three of Pentacles type of energy too. It feels very supportive. Um, well, Three of Cups actually. Sorry, Three of Cups energy. A lot of love here showing up. Somebody really feeling your vibe. You must really show up, look good around somebody, or when you're connected, this person may not let you know what they're really feeling. Wow. Because it's like they got their eyes on you. It could be a friend of yours that is more intrigued by you than you think. And if you've been holding back for some reason, somebody might be even curious, like, what's wrong with you? I just got. All right. So I am seeing a good energy here. Three of Cups feels like, you're about to enter into an energy of hanging out with somebody, dating somebody, or reconciling with somebody. So what is the challenge though? So many questions. Where do I stand? Oh, where? All right. Somebody's really questioning you as well. So this position right here gives me sort of what kind of reading I'm going into here. And it does feel like there's a question either way you look at it. You or another person. Are we more than friends? Are we just friends? Is this platonic? Even if you're in a relationship, is the chemistry there? Are we really, but then I have this supportive energy, and I feel like you may be questioning where you stand with somebody because they don't wear it on their sleeves. They don't constantly validate your feelings or show you what's going on within, But I'm seeing here somebody really, really has a lot of fun with you, feels very connected to you, and loves and supports you, right? So even if it's a friendship, very much. But where do we stand? Where do we go from here? Is this more? Let's take a look. Hang out to the end. I will look at their hidden truth, some more oracles around them, and I will do a yes, no bonus and Aries through Pisces. All right, so let's go with Scorpio. So trying to figure out what's going on with this connection. All right, your person, the Sun card. So there is really a strong friendship vibe here. So something building, and I feel like this could even be a new romance for some of you Scorpios this week. All right, this is definitely somebody here who's feeling the vibe, sees your light, likes being around your energy, and maybe falling in love. So this is a card of falling, in love or being in love, unconditional love. And there's a lot of growth happening here. So maybe you're questioning because you feel like something's changing. Sometimes people back up their energy a little bit and they observe you more because they are catching feelings, right? And so that could leave you questioning everything, wondering what's going on. Why is their energy shifting? Why are they not contacting me? Why? Why is it that when I'm around them, I feel so comfortable with them? I feel supported. I feel good. I feel like something's here, but yet I still don't know what's really going on here. Should I stay? Should I go? I mean, I can imagine the questions you're asking yourself, but you have the Sun card here for your person, a very strong Leo energy, which tells me that this is somebody that follows their heart, and so ultimately they're feeling pulled to your energy. And it's a hell yes or a hell no when you see the Sun card. So if somebody's really making you feel off and shitty, this is obviously maybe not your reading, because this is somebody that may be just questioning whether or not they're ready to open up, express themselves. Maybe I am falling in love with you. Maybe I do love you, but maybe I don't know what that means or how to say it. Some people even never think they'll ever fall in love again. And when it hits them, it could scare them, but disclaimer here, most people figure it out and you'll move forward and you'll see growth. So this isn't something that should feel too heavy. At least right now, it's not feeling so heavy. All right, so let's see their biggest challenge, though, the Seven of Pentacles, taking that next step. Where are we going? All right, so it's going to be a crazy week for you. Are you trying to rack your brains, trying to figure things out? Let's see if I can get what Spirit thinks you should do with this situation. Because the challenge is stagnant. You know, somebody, it feels like maybe to you, like somebody's stalling. You're ready to design your future, and yet you don't know if you should. Does somebody want to really build with you? You know, Seven of Pentacles, is this something that we can, you know, grow from? Is this more than friends, is what I'm really getting. Seems like there is mutual respect, but you may want more from this person, is what I'm feeling from you. Is like you're wondering why your person maybe doesn't go the extra step to make you know how they really feel. So let's see how they view you, how you view them, and your challenge with them. They view you, the Queen of Wands. All right, maybe you intimidate them. All right, Scorpios going around with their stinger hanging out there with a big bow on it. Like, oh, don't be afraid of me. Don't be afraid, right? You're the Queen of Wands, right? Very confident, very spicy. You know, you get what you want. You go after what you want. There's no doubt that this person does not have their eye on you. All right. But the problem comes down to expressing, you know, is there a block? You know, let me pull one more. Let me pull out the other cards, then I'll pull one more card for that. So let's see how you view them. I see the Empress card, could be a Taurus, Libra, and your biggest challenge with them, communication, Two of Cups, right? How do they feel? You don't know if somebody feels the same way for you as you them. And it may start to, I know my Scorpios, you may start to think that, oh, it's got to be me. It's got to be me. Maybe I don't, you know, and it's like, and it's like, the thing is I just think your person's odd, or they really care about you. But, you know, the challenge is too, relationship. Do we have different ideas of what relationships look like? Maybe your person, you know, wasn't ready for a relationship, and then you come in, and then now it's like, oh, you're totally different than anybody they've ever been with. I mean, you're the Queen of Wands. All right. You go out, you demand what you want. You have a presence that says, this is what I need, what I want, and what's up. But you've got somebody here who, look, the Empress, male or female, I don't care. You have an Empress showing up for how you view your person, and they're very loving, nurturing, giving, and more laid back. All right. And a Queen of Wands is not laid back, right? A Queen of Wands is a fun as shit. You know, I don't care. Go ahead and, you know, head first. Right. And that's my Scorpio. But your person here, you know, is more of a laid back, leaning back, kind of slow, you know, paced and enjoying the moment. And I see the Sun card too. It's a very simple energy. It's a very common energy. All right. So I'm seeing here that you may be misreading your person, because you have a different, but you both have a great energy about you. It's why you're being attracted. You're on the same sort of frequency, being attracted to one another. But it's more of a slower growth, right? But it's unconditional love. Somebody is very attracted to you, and it is just slowly growing. And the Seven of Pentacles is telling me, let's see what the block is, though. All right, the Hermit card. All right, your person has a hard time opening up. All right, they're so used to being by themselves, distant, not like everybody else. They're the type that can go their own way. Like I said, there's somebody who's very independent and can take care of themselves too. Now, they may be older than you. They may be set in their ways. They could just be, you know, a mountain man, you know, a mountain woman. You know, it doesn't matter. It's somebody here who is more introverted than you are. That's the bottom line. So you're dealing with somebody, you're so used to your confidence. You're so used to looking at somebody and what the hell's the problem? What do you mean? Right? You calling people out and saying things, and you think it's normal, but it's not normal to other people. And as we get older, we realize, we have a mouth on us and we call truths, but not everybody needs to hear everything we have to say, just because our sign has that gift, I guess you'd call it. Right. But what I'm seeing here is somebody here just may be taken by your extrovertedness. Somebody might, you might be demanding, very, very fast paced, get what you want. And somebody's a little bit thrown off by that. Now, if you're trying to get somebody here who's been on their own for a while, or somebody who's even distanced themselves from another relationship but was still in a relationship. All right, this is somebody that has felt alone for quite some time. So they're not going to be quick to express themselves, and they might be even thrown. This is somebody that might have even chosen, I'm going to be by myself for the rest of my life. I don't even care. I've done it, been there, all the experiences in the past. I don't need it anymore. I don't want it. I was there, you know, I don't want it. Right? This could be your person, and then all of a sudden you come along in this connection, and it's like you're testing them, you're challenging them, and not everybody likes to be challenged. But I'm also going to say tough shit, right? Because part of your sign is to challenge people as well, and get them out of their comfort zone, get them to see, you know, truths. And you know, so it's like, oh, yeah, it's kind of a mix match type of energy, but it's also a very powerful energy and a strong connection that looks as though you're in the earlier stages of it, but you've already begun the process. You've already begun the process, right? The Empress card says it started a long time ago, you know, and like the support, the comfort, the growth, the connection is just naturally, organically growing on its own, on its own. But for you, Scorpio, because you're so intense, that for you, you know, it's either all or nothing. It's now or never. All right. It's now or never. And you have a person here that is more like, why not just enjoy the moment, smell the flowers, you know? And you're like, we'll do that later. Right. And so let's see. We're gonna look at Aries through Pisces here, see if you see any actions. I have Aries, Leo, Sag really showing up for you. Leo's very strong. You have Libra and you have Taurus. All right. But let's look at potential actions between each zodiac sign this week. And I will get some hidden messages from them too as well. But before I go any further, what does Spirit think you should do? I see the World card, just B, right? That's a B card. And I see the Knight of Pentacles. All right. So right now you're sitting in this World position, which feels like, all right, nothing's happening. Seven of Pentacles, nothing's happening. So when nothing's happening, we create problems. We overthink. The Knight of Pentacles. We start to panic. We start to overanalyze. We start to critique everything, judge another person. All right. Look for every little detail to get a sign, especially if you're like, where do I stand? Why the hell won't this person just express themselves to me? Well, Spirit's saying right now there's nothing it's sort of out of your hands. It's like you're in a place where things are sort of marinated, and your person has to make a move. You know, maybe they're slowly coming out of their shell. The Knight of Pentacles is just saying slow down and maybe not try to focus on too many details and make something more complicated than it has to be. Your person is showing up to me as being very simplistic. So what you're thinking the problem is, they probably are, you're probably so far off, right? So far off. They probably have a stomach ache, right? And you're thinking that they're flying to Vegas with somebody. All right. So let's look at Aries through Pisces. Aries, I see the Nine of Cups. So this week, right, you may feel satisfied, happy, comfortable with the outcome. You know, your wishes are being granted with this card. It says, you know, something that you want, something, it's a blessing. Something you want is, you know, coming to fruition here when it comes to an Aries. There's no doubt that they don't desire you. The Nine of Cups is, oh, I want this. I want you. You're the cherry on top. Taurus, I see 10 of Pentacles. So Taurus has a plan, and Taurus wants things stable, wants, you know, to know what things look like long term. And so Tauruses are known to take their time, right? We have a support group here on this channel for Tauruses, all right? But they need to feel comfortable and safe and keep things simple. And so when they're set in their ways, the hermit, it's going to be hard to get somebody like this to shift quickly, but they will, right? They're your opposite sign. I do see investment this week. It seems like somebody has been thinking about a future with you. Gemini, Three of Pentacles. So Gemini here also kind of looking at you. That feels like that friendship, that support. I want to make things work. I really like what I see. We work well together. We get along great. All right. We have a lot in common. All right. Let's fix things for some of you, or let's try to make it work. Right. I do see a collaboration, which means, you know, we got to both be on the same team here. So maybe Gemini is stepping up to the plate this week and showing a little bit more interest. All right. We have Cancer, the Devil card. So Cancer's got their eye on you. There's a strong attachment there. In today's reading, that Devil card is more of an obsession, more of a lust, a desire. You may trigger your Cancer. They can't always figure you out. Obviously, there's a sexual energy there too as well. So there is a strong attachment. Just know that you may be triggering a Cancer, and it could even be jealousies too. Leo, I see the Three of Cups, right? So you and your Leo, it looks like very fun energy this week. Things turning out great. Things feeling like we feel comfortable. So maybe you're getting some sort of energetic vibe from your Leo this week that they really do have emotions for you, deeper feelings for you than just friendship. So the signs, pay attention to the signs. It may be more of a feeling you get when you're around them or they reach out to you. Virgo, the Strength card. So very strong energy with the Virgo, right? Very strong bond here growing with you guys. And I do see them trying to open up to you. But you do have somebody that likes to keep their shit together, and keep behind a mask in a way, right? They don't want to let go of everything. They don't want to let you in right away, right? Afraid to be vulnerable. But yet they're very strong. So we are seeing here that there is some healing going on or a connection that is forming between you and a Virgo. Libra, Knight of Swords, right? So Libra's, got a lot to say this week. So lots of communication coming from a Libra. All right. Seems like maybe you're figuring out which page you're on, right? Or you're deciding, maybe this isn't the page we want to be on. It can go either way, but it's good news, right? So it feels like we're on the same page, having a conversation about the direction of this connection. Scorpio, you have the Six of Cups. All right, so that to me just kind of stamps this reading today. It felt really lovely reading. You have a friendship here. You have somebody that feels like they've known you before, very comfortable with you. Conversation here. There's something happening with you and another Scorpio, but also with you feeling, this could all, obviously be the past sort of coming back around. And I'm sorry, most of you guys have a negative past situation, but this to me isn't that. It's more like it could be somebody that you've been connected to for a while. Maybe you tried to talk before, maybe things didn't happen. It could be that coming back around. But either way, we're seeing a soulmate energy forming between you and another person. Sagittarius, all about you, Queen of Cups, all right? So there's deep feelings here. Maybe they're trying to figure out how to express their feelings. If there is another relationship going on, that doesn't stop the fact, obviously, that their feelings are for you. Now, some of you are in complicated situations. That's the only reason why, if I see a person here, I might say there's somebody else that may be blocking this situation, right? But if not, don't go looking for it. Just know that they are very drawn to you, all right? This is somebody that can't shake this connection with you. Capricorn, I see the Justice card. So being real, all right? It's time to be real. You have a Capricorn that's like, I know my part, your part. It looks like a commitment. It's like I'm starting to think about bringing things into reality, or, being honest and authentic and opening up. So we do have a confession maybe coming in with a Capricorn. Aquarius is stressing in their head over you. You have a lot of reminiscing and feeling, maybe I should have said something, or maybe starting to really analyze the situation and wondering, should I have done something different, said something different? For whatever reason, it seems like we have a lot of analyzing and anxiety coming from an Aquarius. Maybe they do want forgiveness with you. Maybe they do want to reconcile, and they're hoping that maybe they didn't screw up their chance. Pisces, Two of Pentacles. So, you're playing the back and forth game with the Pisces. Give it some time is all I see with this. It's showing me that you guys are trying to figure things out. There's mutual love there, though. So I do see, but it's about figuring each other out, because there can be mutual love, but misunderstandings because of the way we operate. And so you guys are kind of going through this learning period or just testing the waters type of energy. So the opportunity is really here for you in a Pisces. But anytime you get an ace 2 or 3, you got to remember that you're in an early stage of a cycle. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship you're in. You're in an earlier stage. So what tarot is requiring or asking of you is to look at it from this perspective. Sometimes even in relationships, we got to take a step back and go back to the beginning and see what we missed or how we used to be or what happened and figure things out. So this 2 of Pentacles is that. It's like we got to compromise. We got to figure things out, work together, and be flexible with one another. All right. So if you're still with me, let's get an oracle, a hidden truth from your person, and a yes/no bonus. I am glad it's resonating. I'm sure it's confusing. I feel it when I'm reading, and sometimes it's hard when I'm reading, when I'm picking up a couple different, or it could go both ways, or, you know, and trying not to confuse you at the same time. So I just have to trust that you will feel which version, what is for you, what you need. All right. All right. Look at this. A new perspective, study and learning. All right. So trying to take a step back, try to think what you would have done 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when you were a teenager. You know, we make things so complicated and heavy when we get older. And I see it's coming together. Precision. Alignment is that word. Alignment. Sorry, my voice. Let me get a hidden truth for you. All right. Hidden truth for Scorpio. Tell me a little bit more. Tell me the hidden truth. All right. I fantasize about you. All right. So for some of you, if you're dealing with, like I said, a complicated situation, you already know it. All right. And it doesn't stop that somebody can't get you off their mind. Obviously, there's all kinds of complicated situations. Nobody's judging anybody here. You judge yourself enough, and you have your own conscience. And so, but that could be a challenge for some of you, and I have trouble with intimacy. Somebody could have a hard time, like I was saying earlier, expressing themselves, when you have the Empress and the 2 of Cups as a challenge, that is somebody struggling with intimacy. And intimacy is being able to be honest with you and then not get triggered and be able to work through it so you guys can deepen your connection. So somebody has a hard time with that deep conversation, but you need somebody who's willing to go to that depth with you. But at this stage here, it's also teaching too. It's like, all right, so not everybody can go to the depths that Scorpio goes to, but can you meet them halfway? One more. So somebody doesn't think you feel the same way about them. All right. Maybe they're picking up, a vibe, like maybe you're attracted to them, but are they just somebody who's a passerby or keeping you busy or out of boredom, and somebody just may be feeling like, yeah, I know you say you want this, but I'm picking up different vibes from you. So if you have a question on your mind, you have a question. I have a comment about that, learning. Think of the question on your mind. Think about hyping and subscribing. Think about hitting that QR code for some awesome candles, or, connect with me, get a personal reading. Let's see the question on Scorpio's mind. I have a yes. And you have Sagittarius energy showing up. You have Mars energy, a lot of passion. So this can bring in new passion, new romance, somebody here maybe taking that next step, bold move to, you know, the chemistry, you know, to express themselves, right? Maybe you'll feel the heat starting to pick up this week, right? It's been very cold lately. You know, it was very symbolic too. As soon as Aquarian energy, all those planets in Aquarius, all of a sudden practically Florida gets snow, you know, or it's like this big ice storm come in. But now we're seeing like some sort of fire, you know, now come in and things warm up between you and another person. I'm getting strong Sag, Leo, fire energy for you as well. All fire. Oh, I got to show you one more thing. I have the 3 of Cups again here at the bottom of the deck. So that's 3 times that energy kind of showed up today for you. So, you know, getting together, gathering, you know, working together, having some happy times, you know, getting along. Can't we all just get along here, guys? And we've gotten better, but we just still can always go back to what we were. You know, we're all the same people that we were. It's just that we have different versions, but we all can easily tap in. We just know better. It doesn't mean that we practice it, right? So that's where I was kind of thinking or going with that. All right, good guys. Thank you all for being here. And I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get the other 3 out, get back on track and super chat. Take care, guys.